Well, the countdown to the RBC Canadian Open is here. For much more, joining us now, tournament director Ryan Paul, who joins us from TPC Sawgrass. Ryan, welcome back to Golf Talk Canada.
Thanks for having me, Scully. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, my man. So, before we get into prep for the RBC Canadian Open, you're currently at TPC Sawgrass for the Players' Championship. What can you learn from being at an event of the magnitude that is the Players' Championship that you can apply to the RBC Canadian Open?
Yeah, it's a great question, and really one of the main reasons coming down here is learning about the Players Championship and all the great things they do. What really catches my eye first is well, obviously TPC Sawgrass is an event on tour that's year in and year out. So the improvements that they make both to the course and the 18 holes that the professionals play, but also the infrastructure and the operations and logistics that go around that property and fan movement and just everything that makes it a seamless and an exciting journey for the fans. So we've started to take notes of that and just different ways that fans kind of consume the Players Championship and how we can both bring that to the RBC Canadian Open, albeit that a tournament like ours moves around from venue to venue. But as we introduce TPC Toronto to the mix and really a new home for the RBC Canadian Open is how those changes can also be implemented into a property like that really has the size and magnitude to do a lot of things. So it's been eye opening. It's been a lot of fun, and I got a notebook full of ideas. So excited to bring them back to Canada.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley because for those who haven't actually been on the property, well, to be frank, it's absolutely massive. Obviously, three full 18-hole golf courses, the RBC Canadian Open being held at the North Course this time around. But in terms of build out, we've spoken before about build outs just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But with this much property being available, how big do you think the build out will be come this year's RBC Canadian Open?
Yeah, there's really no shortage of space at TPC Toronto. Um, but it's an exciting one for us, and I think where we're most excited about our build and what that's going to look like is the rink hole. And we were talking about it the other day in the office, and looking back at photos of what the rink was in 2017 when it was literally just rink boards going around and an idea that we didn't know if it was going to work or not, and it came to life, and it is what it is now. And this year we've got the whole right side is going to be surrounded. We've got more fan viewing decks that are open to the public than we've ever had before. We got hospitality running the entire right side. It is going to be a stadium atmosphere and an electric a hole that's going to generate a lot of excitement.
It's so great to see how much the rink hole has evolved over all these years. And I actually got to go to the WM Phoenix Open this year. I mean, it was for my bachelor party, so something a little different. But to experience what that hole is like, the 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale. So for this time around for the rink hole, I'm looking forward to seeing as it's even getting bigger and better too. But it's the 14th hole at the North Course, right?
Yeah, we're the 14th hole this year, so at the one end of the property, and I think you're still going to hear those roars throughout the entire golf course. It's going to be electric, and we're bringing all the amenities over to that side, so you can really, if you want, you can go to the rink and you can stay there all day, and you have everything you need.
That sounds like a pretty good time to me now. We are in March now and the weather is starting to turn, but I noticed on socials when there was still a lot of snow on the ground, well, the build out had already begun. So where we are right now, how much build out has already been put together and built, and how much more is there still to go?
Yeah, we're eagerly looking at the weather and ready for that snow to melt so we can keep going. But we started building in September, and we've got a lot of that build out already done on 18, 17, a little bit of 16, 15, and then of course the rink on 14. So there is a significant amount of our infrastructure already up. As Canadians, we know that those winters can be prolonged, especially when you keep getting north of the city at a course like TPC Toronto. So we got ahead of it, but yeah, really excited for that snow to melt, and we can keep going, and even just to get that excitement back going, and just showing that the Open's that much closer.
Well, it was amazing when the RBC Canadian Open socials put out a post 100 days until start time. I believe we were actually live on the air on Golf Talk Canada, and I think I actually floored Weeksy when I told him that because there's so much going on, right? I mean, TPC Sawgrass as we record this week, Masters 4 weeks away. It's just a great time in the world of golf. Now, for the RBC Canadian Open overall, last year, there was the special logo with Nick Taylor and the putter flip. But Ryan, that logo is now here to stay within the RBC Canadian Open logo for good. Is that correct?
That's correct. What became a celebratory logo that I think everyone knows the story, but started from a pumpkin carving contest, is now the permanent logo that we have going forward. And from that release, really nothing but positive feedback from all of our fans and sponsors and Nick, of course, and even walking the grounds here at TPC Sawgrass. And when you bring up the Canadian Open, they're like, "That is so cool that Nick Taylor is the logo." Like it means everything to him when you talk to him about it. But it's an exciting time for the RBC Canadian Open, and really now a logo that shows such an iconic moment in Canadian golf.
Yeah, it certainly is one of the great moments. And 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was 2019, I guess, when Rory McIlroy made his debut at the RBC Canadian Open at Hamilton Golf and Country Club. I was in one of the scrums he was speaking in, and he said this is one of the best atmospheres I've ever played in all my life. And that's Rory McIlroy saying that. As we look ahead to this year's tournament, how excited are you about the field that could be coming up and playing at the RBC Canadian Open?
Yeah, our field is really taking shape. Obviously, the Canadians are playing well. They continue to play well on tour, which is always good. We saw a nice bump and really excited to have Roy McIlroy back in the field. And there was comments about things that he had said last year about a lightened schedule and that. And as people are starting to think, is Canada going to be off the list? But he doubled down and spoke to the importance of playing in national opens and just the excitement of playing in the RBC Canadian Open every year. It means so much to him. It means so much to us for him to be there. So we're really excited about that. And yeah, from our talks down here, I think in the coming weeks we're going to have a few notable announcements that we're really excited about. So really excited for this year's field, and can't wait to make those announcements in a couple of weeks.
That, my friend, is a very good professional tease. Very well done. So, for those watching, for those listening all across Canada, we see the weather is starting to change, and they're thinking, hey, how can I get involved? How can I become a volunteer, maybe? What kind of volunteer opportunities are there for this year's RBC Canadian Open?
Yeah, tons of volunteer opportunities still available. You can go to rbccanadianopen.com to learn more about the committees. You can do anything from inside the ropes with gallery management to driving players around with player transportation. So lots of great committees that are still around. We have a few spots left. They are going fast though. Our volunteer program is one of the best on tour, and we've got a lot of kind of repeat volunteers coming back. So working through that.
That's fantastic. Well, the RBC Canadian Open isn't too far away. We're so excited to be broadcasting from the RBC Canadian Open Monday through Friday, both on TSN television and the TSN radio network. Ryan, thanks so much for your time, my man. We'll do it again before the tournament gets underway. I know you're going to be a busy man. Enjoy the rest of the week at TPC Sawgrass, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks for having me. Talk soon.